Tobago. The time is now. Join the Tobago People's Party this Monday, December 1st at 5:30 p.m. sharp at the Scarborough Esplanade for a powerful political meeting and introduction of candidates. Come hear the voices shaping Tobago's future. Live performances by Verse, Stephanie Joseph, Adana, and Pucky. Feel the rhythm of change. Stand up, show up, and be counted. Tobago People's Party, anchored in truth, rising with you.
TPP as we pumping, TPP as we voting. Come bring out the friend and them.
That was a paid.
Back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. As you have seen that political advertisement, then you already know this morning we're talking about the political meeting and introduction of candidates for the Tobago People's Party. And this morning, to have that conversation with me, I have the privilege of sitting in the studio and chatting with the party chairman, Natasha Second. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Shenell. Good morning to Tobago and Tobagonians all across the world.
Excellent. So we are hearing that big things are happening this evening. And finally, for all that has been waiting, the Chief Secretary is going to make his announcement of his entire slate of candidates this evening. Tell us about that.
Right. So all of Tobago, all of Trinidad, the nation, has been very eagerly following what is happening in the Tobago People's Party. You know, we are the party of choice. You know that we are the movement that excites people the most. Young, old, men, women, persons from various ethnic groups, persons from various religions. We are the party that attracts the most attention. So the process of nomination has ended. We had an exciting screening time. The people were able to participate, a very healthy, thriving democracy, and everybody is waiting for the announcement today. So we are inviting everyone to come from the north, the south, the west, everybody to come down to the Esplanade and listen to our first political meeting of the season.
Right. And let's talk a bit about how we got here. We got here because we are at the end of the first tenure of this particular administration. And so with that, and the House being dissolved, the Chief Secretary, opened up the nominations for candidates and so on. But, in an unprecedented occurrence, we saw a number of people in the party putting themselves forward, to be considered for leadership, including yourself.
Yes.
You did put yourself forward for that Roxborough Argyle seat. Tell us, do you think that this, the amount of persons putting themselves forward was an indication that the party wants to shift the way that the leadership has been going? Tell us a bit about that.
The attraction to seek the opportunity to serve in office is a good one. The fact that so many people and so many different types of people wanted to put their hats in the ring or were called by persons living in different districts to put their hat in the ring says that we have a very, very healthy, attractive organization where people feel comfortable to come forward. It is good to put your hat in the ring. It is good to contest. It means that you understand that at the end of the day, a small number of persons sit on the executive council, and they must come from a good crop of talented Tobagonians. They must come from a crop that understands policy development, but have compassion for people and leadership and so on. So having a good pool come forward is very good. It augurs well for the future of the party. And I would encourage persons to always put their hat in the ring. You have a number of ways that you can serve. You can serve directly as a candidate and an assemblyman, or you can be a leader of a board, a director in different circumstances in the government itself. And the party's executive, members of the party's executive can serve as party executive or executive council or together, right? So it's important for us to have those opportunities, step forward and learn as we go along. Because remember, we are a young party.
Right. And we cannot shy away from the fact that contention has arrived as it pertains to who has been selected or not been selected, or, simply that not having announced those two seats as yet and still considering other candidates. This has sparked conversations online from supporters and non-supporters alike. How does the party deal with this particular issue at this time, and it's spilling over into the public and seeming as though there is internal bickering because of this nomination process?
Wonderful. So as you are organizing a group, we have the vision of the political leader, Felicia Augustine, is to acquire this coalition of the willing and the able. So you have diverse views, you have diverse people, you have different intentions and so on, and just different ways of thinking of things. And we've had political division for many years. So we have come together from all different quarters in order for us to arrive at a space where we are organized and where we work together. We have to have some of those internal shiftings and those kinds of banter and those kinds of debates. It is good. This brings me to the point where in any organization you have leadership and you have management. Leadership is where you do the inspiring, you the visioning and so on. But management means that you hold it together and you chart the course that you have to go. So we have the leadership, and now we have the process of management. The fact that we have arrived here says that we have managed very well. You've allowed some leeway for persons to be able to express themselves, demonstrate the democratic process, and a political leader has to listen. He has to hear all of the different views so that we have that level of balance. Going forward now, the party's executive will work very closely with the executive council and other members of the party and party arm to ensure that we manage the way we speak, the way we address issues, the way we communicate with each other and with the public. So we have much to look forward to.
Excellent. And what can we really expect coming out of this evening's candidate launch?
We are going to be looking at some of the hot button issues. We're going to talk about all of the social and political concerns out there, discussions about fears of war, discussions about the achievements that the THA has clearly had, discussions of the path that it took to get there, exciting introductions of all of the candidates, getting together. When siblings squabble and fight, they get together to defend if they are attacked by others. So we're getting together. It's a calling together of our Tobago Army, which is the Tobago People's Party, to get ready to fight the upcoming election.
Understood. What are you saying to persons who, are a bit reluctant to come out and demonstrate their political affiliation publicly? Because, there are those persons who come out and they are happy to support and back their party, and there are those persons who say, they want to remain apolitical in the public space and they don't want to come out and be a part. What do you say to those type of supporters?
Well, there are quite a number of persons, and they have constantly reached out. So we are aware of them, we are aware of who they are, and we want to encourage you to support from your safe space. Wherever you feel comfortable and safe, you can support. You can support in the background. There are a number of activities that political organizations need during the election season itself. So reach out and come and participate. Yes.
We have not seen such conversations in a very long time surrounding nomination processes within parties. Why do you think the TPP attracted such major conversations as it pertains to their nomination process?
We have been building conversations among our actual independent individual action groups and different types of groups. We have women's group, youth, etc. So we have a good, healthy structure. We have a constitution, we have codes of conduct, etc. So, and we encourage a lot of participation in the civic process, a lot of dialogue, a lot of discussion. We have to establish respect and order. And remember, we're transitioning as a society. We do have persons who have no respect and no sense of place or time. And we have persons who are well-schooled and well-intellectual, etc. And all of us have to function together, and all of us have to feel comfortable being able to share on the table so that we feel comfortable, we feel safe, and we feel like we are part of. That is what we actually were able to do during this period. We were able to train persons, help people to feel secure in their own skin. You've had very grassroots people and very intellectual people, very religious people, very boisterous people, all participating. And now, once we have arrived at this space, we understand there's a give and take in every organization. So we now are going to move together with one voice, because we understand the bigger picture and the bigger concern, which is the governance of Tobago, the effective governance of Tobago. And we welcome conversations in the future. We welcome the continued development of our political organization.
All right. So what time is the event starting this evening? Where should persons gather? Are persons being given transportation from different districts to come to Scarborough? For everybody listening, what should they expect?
All right. So we're all heading down to this wonderful event, 5:30 on the Esplanade, and you have transportation points. You should check in with your action groups or your candidates, your assemblyman, depending on the situation for you in your village. And you can always check in at the Port Mall, the head office in the Port Mall.
Understood. So this is happening at 5:30 p.m. this evening
Yes.
at the Scarborough Esplanade. Are there any traffic restrictions? Where do persons park? Is there...
So all of that parking arrangement and so on is provided once you have access the action group, the assemblyman or the candidate and so on. So the instructions are given across our action group platforms, across our social media platforms, etc. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we are wishing you all the best with your candidate launch this evening. Is there anything that you want to say to Tobagonians and our audience listening as it pertains to this event for the TPP campaign launch and the launching of candidates this evening?
Yes. I want to thank Tobago for the confidence that they've expressed so far in the Tobago People's Party, the movement that we have all developed together. And I want to invite you to come to celebrate with us as we launch our candidates, our frontline warriors who will take the fight as we go forward to get another wonderful 4-year term to govern the island of Tobago.
And I'm seeing an extensive list of artists here that will be performing this evening. So I'm guessing that you're encouraging the young persons to come out.
Yes, we want them to come, enjoy themselves, listen to the political discussion, be involved, and then, shake a little leg in the afternoon.
Understood. We want to thank you so much for being here this morning, and we're wishing you all the best with your candidate launch this evening. Interesting. We'll be looking on and looking for all those interesting developments and, those issues that persons were looking to hear about, specifically as it pertains to the geopolitical tensions happening within the region. Where does Tobago stand in all of this? And we want to see who those two candidates are for those highly contested seats that were not announced.
Mason Hall,
Mariah, and Buku Mount Pleasant. We look forward to that, guys. This is unfortunately where we end our discussion this morning. We want to thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am Shenell Felix, and have a great day.
It's a brand new morning.